Honk.
As always, the honk brings us in. What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Argonauts. Welcome, everybody, to a Thursday night stream. It is October 3rd, 2024, and it is about 15 minutes after 10. Late start today, I'm afraid. There's nothing much I can do about that when I'm coming home from work. Sometimes I'm able to pick stuff up earlier, and sometimes I'm not, and traffic was not super great today, so got home and had to do some stuff around the house and so on. But I'm here, I'm ready to go, and we are ready to take on Baltron's Beacon as we try to figure out how to... Well, I don't know if we're wrapping it up. I mean, I'm hoping we are, sort of. I mean, because the Beacon was, we did a lot. There was a lot of stuff that happened. We beat down a lot of the monsters and creatures there. I'm very proud of how everyone has performed in the party, but I'm not 100% sure where we're going now. Like, I don't totally know, so I guess we will figure it out. But anyway, but it is good to see all of you lovely folks, and we're ready to go with Forgotten Realms Unlimited Adventures. Before we go any further, just a couple of reminders about ways to support us on the channel. If you haven't done so already, please follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube with !ArvTube. If you're watching over on the YouTube channel, welcome. And please make sure to subscribe to us there and to subscribe to us over on Twitch, but I'll talk more about that in a minute. Thank you for all those who have subscribed. We're up to a new record of subscribers over on YouTube. We continue to move up steadily, so that's awesome. Discord is !ArvCord, where you can hang out with the Argonauts in between streams. Twitter, !ArvTweets. Blue Sky, !ArvSky. Website, arvaneleron.com. Oh, and also !ArvTalk for the TikTok. And if you were on the Discord, you may have noticed that recently Triffid was kind enough to post about having done some of the audio editing that Hearthglow is going to be going up very soon as we get the next set of episodes. Some very cool moments in this most recent one. She actually texted me or Discord messaged me and was like, oh my God, this moment where redacted happened was amazing. And I'm like, yeah, it sure was. It was a really good moment. So I'm excited for everyone to hear it. Very happy with how Hearthglow has been going, but you can find that over on arvaneleron.com. And of course, we have Gen GMs, which is the show that Zach and I do with DM and GM tips. And more of that is on the way as well. So please support us over on those pages. On the financial side, !Arv Shop is the merchandise area. !Arv Treon is the Patreon. And if you haven't already done so, we are up a little bit higher than we were before on the Patreon, so that's great. Let's keep moving that up. And you get unique stuff for you and unique stuff for the channel. And subbing to the channel is always appreciated too, because you can get those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. Even though September is sadly over, we do have some other things that are there as well, so that's awesome. Speaking of resubs, thank you, Crit Twitch, so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome. Good to see you. 30 months, 55 months of support. That is awesome. That means that we are closing in on, you're only 5 months away from that coveted 5-year badge, Crit Twitch. That coveted 5-year badge. Coveted. It's there and it's coveted, and that's a good thing. Hi, Emily. So yes. Anyway, so thank you for that. I mean, you could do the same thing that Crit Twitch just did, if you are willing to join us. So please consider doing that. And also please support us on the publishing side. !Icarus, that's my graphic novel from Athos Arts. !Library, that's my Tales and Tomes in the Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and source book from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And !Greyshade, that's the Grey Assassin trilogy, Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic. Some big news coming up, actually, about a promotion. I don't think I'm at liberty to announce what the promotion is yet, but I am very excited that it is happening. I'm very pleased about this particular promotion coming out for Greyshade, which will be coming soon. More details about that shortly. And so, yeah, I know. Well, all I'm doing is just, I wouldn't say teasing. I would say I am laying the groundwork. I'm laying the foundation for what will happen at a later point relating to this subject, Richard. It's like when people talk about save scumming in a game, and it's not save scumming, it's tactical save use, as I've always said. So that's basically what this is. But I am very excited for it, and if you want to know more about that, you can stay posted to my social medias and so on. But also, you could check out our various things: Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic, the three books in the Grey Assassin trilogy from the amazing Athos Arts, and of course, !Greyshade will also allow you to get the audiobook of Greyshade from our very own Trend Sparks. And, of course, it will allow you to pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade coming out from Alligator Alley Entertainment. The adventure now, the sort of first adventure, which comes as a part of that, is now out to the fine folks at Alligator Alley. And the world-building stuff and the rest of the book is going to be coming to them shortly. So that means it's going to go into final edits. And then once those are done, it's going to go into layout. And so we are heading into, we're not in the home stretch yet, but we are heading into the home stretch, which is super cool. And again, you can find that over on exclamation point Greyshade if you want to pre-order that. And as always, exclamation point BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation point Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And exclamation point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message we will do so for others in the future as well. One quick note, let me just grab something quickly. Hang on. Okay. Exclamation point, Ukraine. Okay, yes. So I did all that. Great. So I'm going to get rid of this and I am going to turn on that. Hello, everyone. It is good to see you all. And yes, I am very excited about what we've got planned for the month of October. I should say as well that we have a few things I can't talk about quite yet. But within the next week or two, I will be able to talk about these things, actually maybe even less in certain cases. I am going to have news shortly about what's going on with the Expedition campaign. It's positive news, but you know, it's not like, and now it's going away. It's not like that. It's positive news. But that I'm going to have more details about sort of what is happening next with that campaign. I also will be able to announce soon when our first session of Star Wars is going to be. As you all may know, Star Wars is the Star Wars game with the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation scientists was such a big success during ArvCon this year that by popular demand, John Helfers is going to be running things for the Star Wars campaign, which is going to be super cool. That'll probably be one session a month. So we're going to be doing that. And I will also hopefully have some information about a couple of special Halloween-oriented events, including, of course, our Edgar Allan Poe reading, which is going to be happening. Halloween happens to happen on a regular stream night this time, so that's going to be cool. So yeah, so I'm going to have some big things about that. I'm not going to announce the full schedule, even though I've basically written it up now. I will probably do that starting next week. One note I do want to make about schedule, though, is that Saturday is very tentative. I have listed it as very tentative on the calendar and may not involve a stream, and that's because I'm going to be away with family, so I don't know if I'm going to have the opportunity to do a stream, so I have made it very tentative and possibly may not happen. But that's the only stream that I expect to miss because the rest of the month is going to have our usual complement of play. And even when I am going to be away at World Fantasy in a few weeks, we're still going to be doing an Eberron Oracle of War session live and in person, at least with some of the people, because Marie and Brandon are both going to be there. So I'm going to stream with Marie and Brandon there, and then we will have remotely, as usual, Trent, John, and Jen. But that's going to be great. I'm actually really looking forward to that. That should be a fun time. So I will have my remote setup ready to go. And yeah, so that's happening. As I say, that's going to be happening at World Fantasy in a couple of weeks. So very excited about that. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm excited about it. It's going to be good stuff. Tonight, though, we are playing more of Forgotten Realms, as I previously mentioned, and continuing with the Realm, and specifically Baltron's Beacon. Now, we did a lot of Baltron's Beacon last time, and we made some very good progress with it, but we got to a stage where I wasn't 100% sure what we were supposed to do next. So obviously that game does not have a walkthrough. So I have resorted to desperate measures, so to speak. And I don't know. I think this is kind of a funny desperate measure myself. But let's see if I can find it. Oh no. Oh no, did I delete it? No, no. Well, that sucks. All right, let me see if I can find it again. Man, I was so excited to show this. All right, hold on. That's not at all. Oh, autocorrect. How I hate thee. Like, that's just not even close. It's like, you meant this, right? I'm like, no, I didn't even close to meaning that at all, ever, remotely. Okay. I think I found it now. Yes, okay. So, if you look at this, Funny Desperate Measures would be an awesome title for something. That's true, actually. I wonder if there's like it'd be a good album from like They Might Be Giants or something, right? Like a live bootleg would be Funny Desperate Measures. That seems like a They Might Be Giants business. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I couldn't find the like a regular walkthrough, which is probably not surprising because this game is, you know, 30 something years old. And was never, and it was a module anyway. But I did manage to find something a little bit different, so I will share this with all of you, because I think it's interesting. Okay, so that is that thing that you see up there is basically a this is the original Baltron's Beacon module. So no, that's wrong. That's wrong. Okay, this is the thing. The second edition right here. This is the second edition module. Okay. So it talks about stuff like Leptor. I defeated Leptor already. And then there's all the tomes and everything else. Okay. Right? That's what I thought. I thought so too. All right, so let's head over there. And I'm going to see if I can use that to our advantage, basically kind of as a guide as we go through this, because I don't know exactly what I don't entirely know what is supposed to happen next with this, so I figured it was going to be worth trying this thing. So okay, let's go into there we go. Every time I see GBC, I keep thinking Game Boy Color. Okay, Game Boy Color instead of Gold Box Companion. Right. Okay. All right, there's that, and we start game. Okay. Yes, Baltron's Beacon. So, play the game. Play the game, play the game. Don't make think about it. Okay. Let's see. In the game that we want to play, the most recent, or the last one, was Swamp, which is A. Loading, please wait. And begin of entry. Okay. All right, so search A. Literally A. All right, here we are. Great. Okay, so we are in good shape as far as AC is concerned, though. We finally have legitimate armor. So we have Echo Alpha's -3, Hillness -2, Arcana Spot -3, Shadowed Mage is the highest one, like the worst AC at 0. It's still not bad, but Effect Life even at -2 and Nonstop at a -1. So we're in pretty good shape with this. The problem we have now is the fact that we clearly need to get back to the keep. So what I'm going to do is going to head back that way, hope we don't get too many monsters, and then see what we can do once we're there about trying to get to the area where the next part of Baltron's Beacon is, basically, as I see it. And if we can finish this today and move on to a new part of the realm, that would be cool. I want to get into the other Southlands area. Uh-oh. The water of the swamp blasts up around you, and a spherical beast emerges, snarling down at you in utter contempt. Close to a dozen eye stalks writhe about over its crown, each casting a different fell beam. Why am I facing a beholder? That seems incredibly bad. Wow. Right? Yeah, so that's going to be a big old no thanks. Not doing that. Also, ban. See you, Sluggish Lobe. All right, let's try that again. This time with less beholder. Wow. Lest anybody think that beholders are, you know, trivial. If anyone was thinking that, please don't think that. That's something, man. Stoned, disintegrated, death ray, and cause serious wounds. 3 people out of the fight in 1 round. Gigantic frogs rise up around you, their throaty croaking telling of a dark hunger driving them to seek human blood. I do not like this swamp. There's too many random attacks. Looking about these huge frogs, we quickly see there's no way out of their circle. However, I would much rather deal with frogs. I'd much rather deal with frogs than with a beholder. Right? Like, exactly. That was my reaction, too. I was just like, who does that? Like, seriously, who's like, you know what? How about a beholder at this point? Like, if my guys are like level 7, level 8, like, I guess if I'm ready for it. But even then, a beholder is like a boss for a level 10 party. Not like, oh, by the way, you might run into this. Like, how about go to hell? No, I won't, you know? Why? What? Is there a reason I can't use that? Let me guard. See you, giant frog. See you, frog. Killer. Oh, it's a killer frog. Sorry, it's not a giant frog. It's a killer frog. See ya. Bye-bye. Oh. Save that as J. No. Whoops. Foul, hunched humanoids covered in the slime and muck of the swamp lope towards you. The stench of carrion is thick in the air about them. See, there are, like, the keep doesn't have these random encounters, but the swamp does, so... Hate ghouls. Nice. Suck it. Suck it. Suck it. Oh. I thought I would kill them all, but not quite. Pretty close. Do not like me some ghouls. Alright, I'm not going to actually use turning on this. There we go. Because there was no need. Had to use a fireball, but... The undead sink into the swamp, buried forevermore. Forevermore! Ghostly remains of an elf rise up from the surface of the swamp, eyes rolling in rage at your presence. What am I doing? I'm just here. There's no reason to feel this way. I'm just here. Ooh. Ooh. Spectre. Okay. Arcana spot is drained. God damn it. This is already not usable because of that drain. Two levels drained. No thanks. No thank you. Climb into a piece of dry land. Ooh, looking about, you believe you could defend this place if need be from the horrors of the swamp. Would you like to make camp and rest here? Yes, I would. Though the land is wet, you're able to spread out blankets and set up camp. You eat a meal of your packed rations. Sleep comes on slowly. You wake sticky and wet in the humid air. That's nice, actually. Very nice. That's pretty cool. Wow. Very excited about that. Nice. I mean, again, don't get me wrong. That isn't like, oh, yay, you know, completely, but. Woo, the death orb. So, like, is the beholder seeking me out now? Is that the deal? Because that's kind of not so hot. All right, I'm almost there, though. Why are you... Well, yes, that's fair. Yeah, I know. We need to get out of the freaking swamp. I know. No kidding. Oh, great. The great rush of wind and the sound of deep, darksome laughter turns your attention to the reptilian face now looming down not 10 yards to the east of you. I see intruders in my home. Welcome to the acid bath, mortals. I trust you notified your next of kin before venturing into the lair of Antilochus. The dragon is smiling malevolently, and it takes you only a moment to realize that it's about to exhale a stream of acid upon your band. Oh no! What the frick? Yeah, that's what it's black dragon. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, good, good. Woo! That's a relief. I was about to be very displeased. Okay. That's the combination. It looks so cute in the game map. It's not. It's a fake. It's a fraud. Okay. I'm gonna go this way. This way. Okay, so it just did 42 points of damage on one shot. That's really bad. That's kind of to be expected. Also, really appreciate that my guys are all set up in the exact wrong spot because of where the dragon attacked from. That's appreciate that. Appreciate that. Do I have any plus? Okay, I do. Whoops. I was afraid of that. Okay. I really need to get there. Woo! So much for that, Ventilicus. No treasure? What the frick? No treasure. Wow, man. I want to cuddle that black dragon. Still don't have a lay on hands for him, huh? Okay. Right. Cure serious wounds. We're definitely going to cure serious wounds on Arcana Spot. You killed a poor broke dragon. The dragon, the treasure was the dragons we met along the way, right? All right. Okay. Great. we're going to save that under I. I'm stuck on a dragon. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, I don't have to read any of this because I've already done all this. Okay. Yes, you don't need to re-describe the tower to me. I already know. Down to keep. I'm actually going to see if... Okay, right. I think... Okay, so... Right, so I think here... Now here we will not get random encounters, which is nice. You see if I can remember. Yes, I do. Yep, I know. I know. I know. Oh my goodness. No. Shoot. Well, that's unfortunate. I forgot about that. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, right. I knew. Oh, so I can rest here. Okay. I was gonna say. I was like, I know. I was pretty sure there was a place up here where I could rest. All right, we're gonna save this under B. No, exit. Descend to the floor. Sand the floor. Okay. Nope. No. Instead, we go back down is what we're going to do. Oh, no, this is the... Right. This is where I could have gone. Okay. Send to the floor below. Yes. Okay. I'm actually going to put a note in here. Okay. There's the gatehouse. Right. Great. Wonderful. All right. So now... All right. So now I'm going to consult my handy-dandy guide. All right. So that's interesting. I need to remember how to get to the place that it's talking about. J. No. Okay. No, it's a mistake. Every so often it does that. There we go. Right. So. And all about that. Walk the planks. Okay. Okay. Entry hall. This might be it. Oh, the carrion crawlers, right? I remember about that. Yeah, yep. I think this is right. Hey, what's up, Tim Coolish? How are you? How are you? Welcome, welcome. Okay. Yes, I know. Mm-hmm. No. Bottles and jars. Okay. So, all right. We got to go up to the library. Oh. Okay, library. Yes, yes. Okay. Oh. I went the wrong way. I think. Interesting. The Cult of the Black Flame prominently mentions the password Sosumi. Sosumi. Sosum. Used for many purposes among those within the order. I'm going to write that down. All right. Good, good. Just in case. Camp, save, J, no. All right. Okay, so that's the north wall. Hello, hello, Ish Cakes. Hey, Ish Cakes, am I at liberty to mention to people? Thank you for the retweet, by the way. Am I at liberty to tell people who you are or mention? I mean, just without getting into great details, but also, is that a praise the sun thing? That's pretty awesome. A large ivory key. Ah ha ha. I have a large ivory key. You're good, yes? So Ishcakes is a Twitch streamer who also is a friend of our community member, Isterma. And as you will have noted, because I posted this in the Discord, Isterma has been having a hard time, and I posted in the Discord about ways to support Isterma, and Ishcake's the one who reached out to me with Isterma's consent, because very good friend of Isterma, and let me know. So I want to thank Ishcakes for that. And yeah, welcome, Ishcakes. You are welcome to be in this community regardless. I know you weren't, you're new to us, but we appreciate you doing that, and hopefully we're able to get some support to Isterma, who is going through it at the moment. So thank you for letting us know. I do. Shaft of light appears, forming an arrow pointing at the first rune. Though made of light, you find you can turn it to other runes by turning the key. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. And, Isterma has been a longtime member of the community. And again, if you look in the Discord, you'll find in the announcements where I posted this. So, I am hopeful that we'll be able to get some attention. I contributed to the fund. No one ever needs to feel any obligation to do it, but I know that it's something which Isterma appreciates, and it's important for us as a community to try to help each other as and when we can. So it's no obligation, but okay, I think I found what we need, chat. Okay. Platform is centered in a room 30 feet square with an iron door centered in each wall. One door is adorned by a demonic face in bas relief. Oh, well, my pleasure. And yes, I'm hoping that we will get, that it will get some good attention. Isterma is good people, and so I'm hopeful that things are going to turn around. I know that Isterma has been up against it, and as I mentioned in my announcement on Discord, Isterma was struggling back in January, trying to get disability stuff and a whole bunch of things that were going on, and people were generous and supportive to the extent they could be back then. So that's the deal with that. And as I mentioned, Ishcakes, I hope that is able to keep me, keep us informed and keep me updated about that. And also, Ishcakes, you should, while you're here, first of all, you're welcome to hang out with us, but also while you're here, you should also drop a link to your stuff, because I know you were also a Twitch streamer and do a bunch of cool Twitch things. So I haven't had a chance to look closely into it because I heard from you yesterday, and then today I've been teaching all day. So yeah. So definitely drop a link to your own things as well. All right. You don't know which direction is north. 4 statues stand in the corners, their heads nearly reaching the 20-foot ceiling of the room. The creatures depicted are an Afridi, Sahuagin, yeah, Sahuagin, Raven, and a Zorn. Okay, those are definitely different things. All right, so time to make camp. We're going to save this under F For what the no, just kidding. You step foot under the floor of the room and water floods out of the mouths of the 4 giant statues in a torrent. Okay, that seems bad. Very nice. Now, I have a question, Ish Cakes. I just finished about, I'd say 3 weeks ago, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is currently now, you know, we still have a few months left of the year, but that is in the club. Right now, that's the leader in the clubhouse for my game of the year. It was amazing. So, not a Fallout guy, but I love Final Fantasy. And Elden Ring, so I love watching people play Elden Ring. I myself am not a Souls-like person, but I really like watching people play Elden Ring and stuff like that. So that's a good combination. Laughter echoes through the room, booming over the roar of the water, and the demon in relief on the west door bellows, "You fools have sealed your doom." Okay, that seems bad. The room is quickly flooding. As you touch the door before you, the face on the western door roars with laughter and shouts, "You are wasting your time, fools. You will be dead in minutes." Yeah, I had a feeling that was a little bit of a praise the sun. That's Sunbro. I know that one. "Just sit back and enjoy your deaths like good little prisoners." Okay, this seems bad. You shoulder through the exit and the water immediately stops pouring into the room behind you. The demonic visage has nothing more to say. 10 feet beyond the door from the Hall of the Statues, you see a circular steel door 7 feet in diameter. The steel door has no apparent lock and its surface is smooth and unmarked. No hinges for the door can be seen. All right, let's save this under C. "10 feet beyond the featureless door is another similar but more elaborate. 33 keyholes are spaced evenly around its perimeter, each about 6 inches from the edge. You check for traps. Shadow Mage looks at the door and notes that 13 of the 33 locks are clearly trapped. These 13 must be avoided while the door is being unlocked. Jeez, what the frick? Friend sighs and leans back from the door. This was a fake, cleverly designed to appear locked, but truly an unworking mechanism. What? What? I don't... Yeah, actually, that's true, Emily. Have the raccoons returned? I mean... Oh, so you just have to keep picking the locks. Okay. She came back this week, but without the babies up there. He was not happy. So did he put, like, I know that when we had in my house that I lived in for a while up in Canton when I was in northwestern Connecticut growing up, there were like squirrels and I think a raccoon that got up, and eventually the way that they dealt with it was the animal control folks came out and they put like all of this steel wool and then they filled it in with some kind of, like, it made it so that there was no shot the raccoons were going to get in or anything was going to get in there for years. but I don't remember exactly what they did. I was after they trapped the ones that were in there humanely and took them away, and then they just filled the hell up. They filled it the hell in, basically. Wow, this is something. Seven doors. Wow. Save. D. No. They hate talk radio? Is that true? Is that really true? That's really funny. Like sports talk radio? Illusionary door parts around you, allowing you entrance beyond. 10 feet further on, you are faced with yet another door. This door is unmarked except for a message etched on its surface. It reads, Seishi Pasanavantra. Uh-oh. You find yourself standing on a circular stone platform staring into the eyes of a stone bull's head mounted on the wall before you. Hello? Hello? Oh, God. Glass-eyed, the bull's head exhales a cloud of thick gray smoke. You feel your joints hardening as the cloud coalesces over you. No! Okay, that seems bad. That seems bad. Okay, well, we are going to have to load. Yes. Because I'm fresh out of dead things. Okay, load save game. Whoops. No, I already did that. Begin adventuring. Okay. This is definitely the spot where we need to be, chat. This freaking hallway is huge. Or this room, I should say, not hallway. Gotta fix that. Ah, the joys of a game with some quality of life concerns. A remaster on this would not go amiss. All right, let's see. So, there we go. Okay, we're going to save this under E for... Excellent. The rough-hewn passage leading north from the secret door ends in a small cave containing 4 stone sarcophagi. In this barren room, you open the sarcophagi. The crypts are occupied. As the first sarcophagus lid slides open, mummified hands within the others push open stone lids all around you. And suddenly they all go doom doom Okay, I have a cure disease. I really not wild about this situation. Okay, not happy about this at all. Oh, view, items, ready. Ready. I can leave that ready, actually. Turn. What do you mean nothing happens? Son of Kius. See you, son of Kios. Son of Kiosk. Techno mummies. That mummy was so chillin'. 'Cause this is mommy's night. Oh, shoot. Okay, I should have done... That's all right. Okay, now I think I can switch off of the, yeah, it's too bad that I had to use those arrows, but the +5 arrows, but that was a little bit of a rough spot. Okay. Found no treasure. The monsters lie about you, the empty shells of their desiccated bodies, not so much as twitching as they crumble to dust. There is nothing more here. Oh, yeah? See about that. Cure. Cured. Hey. Okay, cast. Cure light wounds. On. Echo Alpha X5. That was a terrible cure light wounds. We're going to do that again. This time it's going to be better. Okay, that's better. Thank you. All right. Save. Shoot. I think I saved this under E. Right. Rough-hewn passage. Stone crypts are all empty. Wait, like that's all that's there? Oh, that's annoying. Can't even search them? Kind of a... Man. Whoo! No floor here. For a sickening instant, you teeter on the brink of an unseen abyss, then spinning into darkness, hands groping for non-existent support. You splash into a murky pool of water. Nothing can be seen below the surface. Something swipes at your leg as you swim about looking for shore. This seems bad. Lizard man skeletons explode from the water all around you. Destroyed. 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 That's right. Yeah, buddy. Climb out of the brackish water, climbing towards a raised locked door. Woo! Okay, save under, I don't know, G for good work. Good job. Large stone throne stands by the east edge of this room. On the throne is a chest. On the chest is a creature. The monster is an unfamiliar type, a green frog-like being with long fangs and claws. In the center of the room is a familiar-looking stone platform, 9 feet across and 6 inches tall. It has a keyhole at its center and a single rune upon its surface. The creature nods to the talisman of the black flame that you wear and utters, "Speak then." The creature settles over the chest it guards, watching you lazily. Yeah. All right, we're going to save this as G. No. I want that chest. What? What the hell is that? What the frick? It's like a bloated baby Yoda. What's up, Gregory? Oh shoot, what did I do? Oh no. Okay, good. Nice. I mean, I found no treasure. Chest on the throne opens easily to reveal a number of evil artifacts. A staff and talisman radiate palpable evil, and you know that to touch them would be to invite your own destruction. To the side lies a vial of luminous green liquid, a potion of sorts. It does not bear the taint of evil that the other items do, but it was certainly the creation of the cult. Interesting. Okay. Well... Consulting my thing. Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to destroy the staff. 3 blows from your most powerful magic weapon. Cleave the staff in 2. Holy accoutrement and blows from magical weapon. The talisman is destroyed forever. Wait. I didn't do that. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh. What the hell is this? Some bad misses. It's a lot of creatures. I really wish this had not happened. Okay. That doesn't affect them? Really? Wow. I can't believe that I did that. That's so frustrating. Dead. 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 Let's see. Okay. Don't love all those people on Effect Life. Effect Life, not the... Just to be clear, everybody, Effect Life, not my frontline fighter. I don't even... I could do Ice Storm, but I don't know. Hey, hey, what's up, Shadow Mage? They do get in each other's way. Yeah, this room is a little cramped. It's just a bit cramped. Dead. 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 Thank goodness for that improved AC. Okay. Okay. Having the one hit point helps also. Yeah, that was a fun session last night, Shadow. It's good to see you all back in the saddle. Nice. Yeah, you better flee in panic. Let's get rid of that. Let's turn on that. Nice. All right. Okay. Destroyed, destroyed, destroyed. And leave the throne. Okay, that could have been worse. That could have been worse. Okay. They're back in the saddle again. And they'll be back in the saddle again. Okay. No. Oh, okay. Step onto the stone platform. Let's see. Blinded by the light, wrapped up in this thing, another rumor in the night. Narrow confining chamber. Your friends stand around you on the stone platform that fills this chamber. Their hot bodies crushed against your own. Hey now, what kind of a game is this? Wait just a minute. It's Arv After Dark. The oddly shaped room beyond is fashioned completely of black stone. The 10-foot wide west wall is carved with images of a multitude of leering demons. Just before this wall, atop a raised area, stands a cloaked and hooded skeleton, apparently made of iron. Steps lead up to this area, and a stone altar stands at the base of the steps. Upon the altar rests a book, a small chime, and a large ruby firmly held in an iron frame connected to the altar. A small figure by the north wall holds a bowl filled with murky water. This figure is a fanged frog-like being made of iron. The carved wall behind the thing depicts a foul marsh teeming with all manner of deadly creatures. To the south, a large block of obsidian stands before a smooth wall. The block supports a brazier of gray stone. Oddly, the brazier is still burning and the flames are black. Hey, let's roast the furlough seeds. Carefully you roast the furlough seeds over the black flame, cautious not to allow anything to actually enter the flames for fear of the agonizing death Demetrius' own son suffered. Okay, that's what I had to do. I'm not approaching the altar. Okay, we're going to save that under F. Oh, yeah, the water. Whoopsie. Okay, so now we just have to get out and back to... Now we have to get back to civilization. I already beat this thing. Okay, so this brings us to the shrine. Oh. Let's see. I have to get out of... Yeah, I know. You're talking about the demon? It's just like, hey, man, keep it up, all right? No, I don't want to go back that way. Now we just have to get out, chat. Just have to get out. No. Normal door. F. No. Oh, what is this? What is this? Outstanding. She wore a raspberry beret, the kind you find in a secondhand store. Prince was goofy, but man, that dude was talented. Stumble out of the darkness. Beyond the open doorway, the floor of the hallway slopes upward at a 30-degree angle, made of the same smooth black stone as the floor in the room behind you. Hallway ends in a closed door. Only solid stone is beyond this false door. When it's open, a hidden mechanism in the wall over the door fires a spray of old, rancid, but slippery oil down the corridor. Another nozzle spits out sparks, which set the oil afire. Leaping back from the fire, you find the entire ramp slicked, sending you tumbling back towards the room of darkness. Oh, no! Yeah, it's good stuff. Yep. That's great. I'm going to go this way, just seeing if I can find a way out. All right, that's... So it looks like the only way I can go... First of all, I have to talk to this dude. All right, so I have to go in here. Yeah, I guess so. But now what, though? Hey, what's up, Drew? Now I'm confused because, like, I feel like... So I made it there. Okay, great. Okay, I'm looking at my little walkthrough setup here. Hang on, I'm just looking at the thing. Okay, I had to do this. So like this is clearly like I had to go here. So this is fine. The issue is, how do I get out of here? Because I already did this. I don't want to approach the altar. I guess I can leave by the normal door. Oh, this is the crypt, though. This is no good. No, I already did this. What the frick, man? Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, that's promising. That's a new spot. We're going to save this under H for a hell yeah. Okay, so now... Okay, save this under H, right? Okay, okay. Okay, so I teleported out of there. Okay, good. I know where that is now. Okay, let's move in here and save it first of all. This is promising. Yeah, it was great, Drew. I really enjoyed that. I like your new character, by the way. I mean, you know, Rip Tam and all that, but I really do. I think your new character is pretty cool. Okay, this is a big description that I don't need. Fix. Fix. Rest. Let's go. This is promising. This is promising, chat. Save. We're going to save that under J. No. Okay. Yep, and it's up on the VOD. I did it. I did the thing. Okay. That's the roof. No, I don't want to go to the roof. Magic books. I wonder if that's like... Oh, no, you know what? You know what? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I know where I am, I think. Nope, nope, nope. There it is. There we go. Okay, now. To outside a keep. Okay. Almost. How do I get... Yep. Okay, good, good. That's not it. That looks promising. Okay, good. I think this is almost right. Okay. Okay, now I just need to get back to the village. The Great Swamp sucks, but if I can get there... I've got the roasted seeds, right? Yes, I do. I have the roasted seeds. Okay. Let's keep going. We can do it. We can do it. We could dance if we want to. 100 lizard men. Can we really fight through so many? The first wave of lizard men attacks. Not far away, a massive trident-wielding lizard man rallies more. Lizard men, huh? That's a lot of lizard men. But you know what I know about lizard men? Oh, wait. What I know about lizard men is that they fall like anything else. Yeah. Especially if I'm allowed to shoot a fireball off. Really? Really? Please let my mage go. 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 Please. Please let my mage go before they all come down here. Please stop doing that. I'm begging you to let my mage go. I'm begging you. Get ready for every single lizard man to go before effect. Thank you. There we go. Dead. 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 That's 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. I'd say 15 dead lizard men with 1 fireball is not bad. 15 dead lizard men with 1 fireball. Quality. Quality work. Yep. Dead. Thank goodness my AC is better than it used to be. Russian crit twitch judge gives fireball score 4. Oh, darn it. Okay. Okay. Dead. 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 A lot of swings and misses, but enough of them rounds that they hit. Oh, come on. Famous last words. Ow. Dead. Dead. Cast. God damn it. freaking 1 hit point. It's like, ah. Too many misses. Try this again. Thank you. There we go. Okay. View. Item. Dead. It's right. It's right. You're fleeing in a panic. Perhaps you should not have attacked. Wow. I did not give you permission to leave. Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. What do we got? Yeah. No, we're not going to take any of that. No, I do not. The sky darkens overhead as a large, sleek reptile dives over the swamp, eyeing you in absolute rage. The dragon of the swamp swoops down over the lizard men, bolstering their morale and urging them onward. The massive crowned lizard king dives into battle with you, hissing curses and threats against all humankind. Well, crap. Okay, let's see. Kind of wish I'd been able to heal nonstop before this fight, but... Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Red dragon. That's less than good. Yeah, I mean, it's actually fewer people, but it's more, oh my god. Okay, I gotta think about this carefully. So, Pan Lung, AC -4, 56 hit points. And that's probably their big, yeah, that's the Lizard King or whatever, right? He's probably not going to be affected by Fireball, right? Who, me? What can I cast? Well, thank you, thank you. All right, this is dangerous, but He didn't take any damage from that at all. Well, that's unfortunate. What? Why couldn't I? Why didn't that cure? It should have cured her. Sleeping by an hour-long emotional day. Yeah, of course, of course. I could totally understand that, obviously. Oh, God. Begins casting. Woo! Did not get hit by the charm monster. That would have been really bad. This is bad enough as it is. Ugh, I'm in huge trouble. Shoot. This is so bad. Stop trying to charm me. Oh. That's very bad. Damn it. Okay, let's see. What can I do? What can I do? Do I have anything that I can do to help? I'm gonna try to cast that. Shit. 1 hit point of damage again. I'm trying to thin out their hurt enough that they'll start freaking out. Ow. Oh, I've got to bandage him. Okay. 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 Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Okay, view items. Woo, this is close. This is close. This is close. Lots of hugs the past week. Yeah, all best wishes your way, and I hope that D&D yesterday was a way to have some positive effect. Got him. Wow. Got him. All right, so only a score? What the frick? Okay, wait. I'm just not gonna deal with that again. The creatures are in a blind range over the death of their king. Yeah, for wave 3, exactly. Shaman dies first. Fireball would be nice. Okay, I'm ready that, ready that, ready that. There we go. It'd be really great if my mage could go at some point this century. Look, it's a question mark. It's a lizard question mark. Got one of these left. Ah, too far out. That's too bad. I didn't want to hit my other people. See you, shaman. Don't squeeze the shaman. Yeah, and obviously this is all scripted because it's after you leave the whole thing where you have to get out of here. So, thank goodness I had that AC like situation fixed though, or there's not a chance in the world I would have been able to win this otherwise. Okay. I'm guessing we've got some fleeing and panic happening here soon. Since I'm kind of wrecking face right now. Yeah. Yep. See ya. No, I do not. Last lizardman falls dead. You stand, staggered by the onslaught, but still alive. The death of their king enraged these. If it does the same to the rest, we have little time to escape. Okay, do we have enough time to freaking save? Save. D. No. Exit. Save. D. No. Exit. Woo! A loud droning buzz. Lift your eyes. It's that acting class work that comes through, right? An unbroken canopy, the swamp overhead. There, the branches and hanging vines are swaying more and more quickly as a giant wasp emerges from the foliage. Okay. Yeah, we kind of, we do not have time to deal with the giant wasp. Yes, I'm going back to the village. Visit Demetrius. Yes. Turn to the quiet trail. Save. J. No. Exit. Suddenly the door is jerked open from inside. Demetrius' head peers round the edge of the door. He stares at you with suspicious eyes. All right, sleep well, Emily. Good to see you. What do you mean, disturbing a venerable sage in the middle of his studies, eh? Eh? Just because I work at home, everyone in the neighborhood seems to think I don't really work at all. It's always, Demetrios, while you're home, can you take in a package? Or, Demetrios, will you watch the children while we're gone to market? Thank you, bye. Or even, Demetrios won't mind running the village beautification committee. He doesn't have any real work to do. Say, you're not salesman, are you, eh? Eh? You're always coming around trying to sell me encyclopedias. I'm a sage. I write encyclopedias. How do you think you'll get more to sell if you keep pestering me? Be quick about it and tell me what you want. You remind Demetrios that he hired you to go to the keep in the swamp, and he regards you dubiously until he sees the bag of roasted seeds. Then the light of recognition dawns in the old-timer's eyes. Ah, yes, now I remember you. I see you've had a rough time of it. Goodness, you mean you have the seeds? Oh, forgive my lack of manners. Come in, come in. You troop into the cool dimness of the house and are soon seated in a comfortable stuffed chair with a refreshing beverage at hand. Demetrios pumps you for information on your journey, nodding as you mention Antarctus, and sighing as you tell of poor, bewitched Hardrak. When the tale winds down, Demetrios disappears into his workroom. He returns after some time, holding a small, stoppered flask containing a livid blue potion. You see here, my friends, the result of all our labors. With this potion, the black flame may be extinguished wherever it burns. The seeds you have brought me will serve to make many more such flasks. But the first potion is vitally important. With this vial, my formula, and a packet of the roasted furlough seeds, my dear friend Oramaxes can manufacture the potion himself. Oh, but however shall I send it to him? I'm too old and frail to undertake such a trip. Think of the hazards along the way. There may be fearful monsters guarding treasure hoards. All right, sleep well, Ishcakes. Thanks again. Or unspeakably rich evil magicians. And the cult of the Black Flame, of course, is in its new headquarters, with all the riches they managed to spirit out of the old keep 100 years ago. Demetrios walks out onto his porch and sits in his stylish rocker. You gather with your friends before him, and he looks you in the eye. You wouldn't by any chance know where I could find a brave group of adventurers to undertake the journey, would you? Smash cut. What? Demetrios leans forward and a shadow falls over him. He looks up, his eyes widening. Of course, Cackle, he got the message to you. He and his flock will get the recipe southward weeks ahead of any land-based expedition, days before any boat could reach the far south. And who would suspect an old crow of bearing the greatest threat the cult has ever faced, eh? Eh? Demetrios waves happily to you. Goodbye, my friends, and safe journey to you. Wherever your road may lead, I'm sure you'll be aiding those in distress. You've saved many lives this day. Sleep well in little Nabalna, knowing that. The door shuts and Demetrios vanishes within. Let's see. Let's save that as A. No. Time to head back to... Actually, we're going to go Labalna and then the Realm. Okay, so we are going to find a room for the night. Alrighty. We did it. So now we go back to the Realm, chat, and I think that's all for this region of the Realm, which means we have to head north and find what awaits us. Save. Excellent. Time to go to the Realm. All right, so congratulations, adventurer. You have roasted Demetrios furlough seeds and saved countless lives. Even now, Crackle and his flock wing southward, carrying the work of the sage to Oramaxes. The far south will be saved. And now you have only one question to answer. Where to next, adventurer? Where to next? Okay. So, where to next, I believe, is this thing, which is, let's see, Drums on Fire Mountain. Now, let me just double check and make sure I know what levels everybody is. Because I think what we said... Oh, no. You know what? No. We said Beacon. I have to find out. Let's see. No. All right. We have to find out. So, let's see. So, we're going to save this under B. No. Okay. So, let me double check quickly and make sure what level the Fire Mountain one is. Because we have 2 left to do in this area. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Drums on Fire Mountain is levels 5 to 8. So Drums on Fire Mountain is levels 5 to 8, and then... Yeah, I know. Yes, I know. I know I have. I know. Thank you, Realm. Thank you, yes. All right, so Drums on Fire Mountain with the Elfin Captain, that's levels 5 to 8. We could do that because our folks are all levels like 6, 7, 8, etc. The second thing we could do in this area, and these are the last 2 adventures we have left in this area before we head off to other spots in the realm. You stand on the outskirts of Vendare, the seat of power for the Count of Aor. Ruthless brigands have brought a halt to the trade between the land of Aor and its neighbors. The military forces sent by the Count of Aor to eliminate these cutthroats have mysteriously vanished. Even worse, there are rumors of an ancient evil once more abroad in the land. If you would like to attempt to succeed where armed troops have failed, then load Game 20, the UA conversion of Dungeon Module 12, Tomb of the Lizard King. It's an adventure for characters level 5 to 7. Okay, well, so, let's take a look, though. View. Okay, so Echo is level 7. Hillness is level 7. Arcanus Bot is level 7. Shadowed is level 9. Effect Life is level 8. And Nonstop is level 7. Okay, so here's the deal, chat. It seems likely to me that whichever one of these we choose, we probably are going to end up being over-leveled for the other one. So what that tells me is that we're probably going to get to do either one but not both. If we were going to see if there was even a shot of playing both of them, it would have to be Tomb of the Lizard King first. So the question I have for you, chat, is do you want to do Tomb of the Lizard King as our next realm adventure? Because if we, like, worst case scenario, we overlevel for drums of Fire Mountain on Fire Mountain. We do that with some other party sometime. But then we head into another section of the realm, having built ourselves up to like level 8 or 9 or whatever. So how do we feel about that? Are we cool with like Lizard King, Tomb of the Lizard King, and then see where things go from there? So you say sure, Tim Coolish? What do you mean shrug? You gotta make a decision. Leave tonight or live or die in the realm. Do 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 boo do do do. Do you have a fast horse? Is it fast away that you can gallop away? You gotta make a decision. Hoof it up or live and die this way. Do 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 do. Okay, all right. Tomb of the Lizard King it is then. Okay, so what we need to do then is, so we save this. Okay, we did that already. So we save that as. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Okay. Okay, so we've saved it as game A. All right, so now play the game. Load save game A. All right, here we go. So also, what is this? Game 22? All right, game 22. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here. Okay, that looks right. Okay, so here's game 22. All right, so game 22. All right, so we're going to remove these characters to update them. Whoops. Okay, remove. Yes, update. 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 Okay. Everybody is now removed. And if I did this right, okay, looks like I did that right. So now I just have to find the game that this is connected to. Select a design. Okay. Tomb of the Mad Hierophant. That's not it. Tomb of the Lizard King. League of the Red Serpent. Rage of the Rakasta. I wonder if that's Rakasha. Curse the Azure Bonds. I certainly know about that. Drums on Fire Mountain. Okay, that's the other one. White Plume Mountain. Tomb of the Lizard King. There it is. Okay, and that's game number 20. So game number 20. All right, so I'm going to copy these. Okay, that's game number 20. Game number 20. Okay. Add character. Hey, there they are. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, it's going to take a minute. Let's see. For many years, there's been peace in the land of the Count of Aor. The fertile plain of the river Ardo has yielded bountifully. Commerce has prospered. The rule of the successful counts of Aor has been generally wise and just, but of late, disturbing reports of highway robbery have reached the palace at Vendare, the major city of Aor. According to the tales of whimpering merchants, the Southlands are being overrun by a band of vicious brigands. Already there's been a complete halt to the rich trade caravans to and from Aor's southern neighbors. Well, the trade mustn't stop. 3 weeks ago, the Count of Aor sent a squad of 30 fighting men to the affected area near the small village of Wakeham. So far, there's been no report, no message, no rider, not even a rumor of their fate. Suddenly gravely concerned, the Count has called for a special group of volunteers to go to the Wakeham area, discover the fate of the first expedition, investigate the reports of highway robbery, and if possible, put an end to this trouble. Those who answer this call can expect danger. Why is there a vampire there? But also great reward, for the Count is known as a generous man who rewards his loyal subjects well. Hearing of the Count's need, your party is answered. Welcome to the realm. Okay. The comprehensive UA conversion of Dungeon Module I-2, Tomb of the Lizard King. Brigands usually manage to accumulate a good deal of treasure, and they usually aren't particularly tough to handle. These brigands, however, may be tougher than usual, for as you sit waiting outside the Count's audience chamber, you see a succession of seasoned fighters enter, full of enthusiasm, only to leave shortly with looks of disappointment and fear. As you sit pondering the strange situation, the door to the audience chamber swings open, and the chamberlain announces that it is now your party's turn to meet the Count of Aor. The servant vanishes through the door to the right, leaving it open for you to follow. Okay. The servant announces your presence, listing your names and reprising your more noteworthy exploits. As you enter, you see John Brunis, 5th Count of Aor, seated comfortably on a high seat at the end of a long table. Sup, John? Standing behind him, resplendent in his robes of bright yellow and blue, is Jorlon, the High Priest of Vendare, a man who commands a large following among the men of Aor. In his right hand, Jorlon holds a slim, tapered wand of ivory. The tip of this wand is made of beryl. The room itself is richly but tastefully appointed with curtains, tapestries, and other objects of value. Welcome, courageous volunteers, the Count says to you. I assume you understand the nature of the task at hand? You affirm that you know of the brigands and their savage attacks. Brunis questions you about your experiences, previous experiences. Previous experiences? First, I want to know about your experiences. Secondly, tell me about your previous experiences. And then, your future experiences in dealing with danger. Afterward, he simply chats for a while, apparently trying to get some idea of your nature. Jorlon stands quietly, seeming to be almost asleep on his feet and taking no notice of the conversation. After 3 or 4 minutes, Jorlon looks directly at John Brunis and nods his head once slowly. Brunis immediately becomes very businesslike. You're accepted for this task. What you must do seems simple. Travel to the village of Wakeham in the south. Learn of the fate of my squad of men. They were led by Bardo Troom, one of my most trusted warriors. Then find these detestable brigands and eliminate them. Summary justice is approved by my authority. Above all else, find out if there is any further evil behind these vicious attacks. If so, eliminate it. Your reward for success will be whatever you regain from the evil you discover, plus my personal gratitude. Alright, I'll ask about the brigand attacks. We've arranged for you to meet with some of the few survivors who managed to survive the brigands' attacks. When we're finished here, you shall be taken to them. Is there a greater evil? You ask the Count whether there's reasons to believe there's more near Wakeham than mere brigands. He glances simply at Jorlin, smiles, and says, so we have been told. Jorlin remains stoic, and the Count says nothing more. It's bizarre. Very well, then come with me. Yeah, so far. John Brunis stands and escorts you to the main council room. The Count leads you into a large room used for public audiences. He sits behind the center of a long table, facing the crowd in the room, and gestures for you to take seats on either side of him. Jorlin, silent as ever, stands behind the Count. The audience chamber is filled with merchants. Their chattering has been hushed by the Count's entrance. Scattered about the room are a few men clad in armor, obviously mercenary guards. The 2 large doors at the rear of the chamber are manned by guards in the Count's livery. In each corner behind you, you notice a cleric in yellow and blue robes. Both are standing quietly with their heads lowered, occasionally muttering a soft word of devotion to themselves or to their deity. The Count introduces you to the assembly, then asks the merchants to give what information they can to the party. The result is a babble of wailing, moaning, and groaning over goods and treasure lost, guards killed, captured or fled, and so forth. The din becomes so unmanageable that the Count orders silence and suggests that you question the merchants rather than letting them all speak freely. Okay, I'll start by asking, where do the attacks take place? The attacks by the brigands almost always occur along the main highway near Wakeham in the Great Southern Swamp. They come from the south. As the man finishes speaking, you notice that one of the priests steps out of the room and is replaced by another brother of the order. Jorlan pays no attention to this routine changing of the guard. All right, what about the strength of the attacks? They look like normal men, but they're skilled warriors. My group of warriors were ineffective against them, although frankly my warriors suck. And we were trained by battle time and again before the attack. I saw my men fleeing for no reason at all the moment that the attacks began. These men were too brave for that. I don't know what happened. Okay. Give me 1 second, chat. Okay. Let's see. Tactics of the attackers. The brigands attack amidst ungodly confusion, with animals rearing and men fleeing in terror as the arrows and crossbow bolts fly through the air. But they're merciless. They run men down. They were taking prisoners, I'm sure of it. Again you hear the priest chanting, "May the powers of good protect this place and all herein in the name of the great Alondro." Thank you, Tim. You ask, what precedents the attacks? I assume that's supposed to be what precedes the attacks. Before the attack that I witnessed, an old man appeared before the head of the column and asked for directions. I've heard from others in this room that the same happened before their caravans were attacked. Okay. The merchants look about at one another in mute concern. Their trials are fresh in their minds after the conversation. The Count stands to dismiss them. And at that point, you hear one of the priests chanting, "O great power of evil, destroy now thine enemies." Oh! The cleric calls down a pillar of unholy flame upon the Count and Jorlin. You roll back off your chair as the searing heat cascades down within inches of your own flesh. Oh man, you stand scanning the room. One of the guards gathers his wits enough to point through the door to the west. Jeez. I haven't even saved yet. A guard stands before you in amazement. The priest, he stepped through the door and he threw dust over himself and he just vanished. One of your friends curses. We'll never find him now. He's probably back to his master already. Jorlin appears, the Duke standing beside him. John Brunus's wounds are healed. Only his burned clothing tells of his ordeal. Oh, okay. Whew. The wounds were not fatal, so they could be healed, the priest intones. But now our hand is called. The time for action is upon us. I now fear the worst. I thought these guys were dead. Quick, decisive action is vitally important. You leave the palace to prepare for your journey to the southeastern edge of the realm, the village of Wakeham. You have been asked to move as swiftly as possible. To where do you go? To the inn. You rest uneasily with the burden of the attack and the Count weighing heavily on your mind. Okay. So we're doing that. Let's see. We're going to do rest. Okay, no. We're going to save it under A. No. Okay, now that I've got that. Why? Okay. So I saved it as A, which means I'm going to exit. Okay. I didn't want to do that. J. Yes. Quit from game. Yes, quit all the way. All right. Okay. All right. Play the game. A. Begin adventuring. Why is that doing that? La la. Looking for romance. I don't know why this thing doesn't work. It's trying to be there 'cause it is just a jerk. I'm saying now. Now, saying now. Okay. A, search. Hey, I got it. All right. It works. Great. Okay. This may be a problem because it like didn't let me save it normally. So that I need to figure out how to. There we go. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, great. Let's go to the shop. You seek arrows, bolts. Okay. Buy. That's great. What a other. Buy. Okay. Right. 10 arrows plus 2. Okay. So let's see. We have here this stuff. Okay, that's fine for Arcana Spot. The order is all screwed up, but I'll fix that. I got a bunch of arrows, so that's fine. I can sell one of these. Okay. View items. Wonder if Effect Life is high enough yet to be able... I don't think he is, to be able to cast level 6 spells on those mage scrolls. So, okay. Okay, he has 162 arrows plus 1. We're going to sell that. Great. Okay. And then view items. Okay, so we need to get more arrows plus 2 for him. Shadow Mage has plenty. I'm going to get another 20 of those, I'd say. Buy. Let's make that. Buy. Buy. View items. Ready. Okay. Okay, I think we're in pretty good shape there. No. No more. Goodbye. Okay, great. So, that's done. Now, what I need to do is... City lies behind you, trailing into the distance as the road to Wakeham passes underfoot. Okay, so... I need to change up the order here. All right, so we're going to put Echo Alpha up front. Like that. We put Healness. No, there we go. Arcana Spot is in third. That's right. We put Shadowed Mage up here. And then we're going to put Nonstop goes there. Okay, good. Excellent. That's perfect. Save. And we're going to save this as J. Okay. So we're going to play for about another 20-25 minutes. We will get into this. But I am very happy that we got through Baltron's Beacon, and now we're doing Tomb of the Lizard King, which will either be our last or second to last adventure in this area, and then we go to the higher level stuff. Level like 8, 9, all that kind of business. A band of clerics in the blue and yellow colors of Jorlin's sect encounters you on the road. 3 walk, while the 4th rides a great white destrier. When you greet them, they are friendly. Peace, brothers! I am Murloc, and these are my fellow priests, Akmar, Almor, and Dermil. Okay. We have been near to Wakeham. We have indeed heard the rumor that the Count's men were slain or driven off by a band of brigands. You have been sent to find the veracity and put an end to the plague? May the heavens be with you. Superstitious stories are circulating among the peasants. They tell tales of flying things that come in the night and carry people away. Yeah, I think so. I think because the next area of the realm is a lot more dangerous in terms of like the levels, but we will get at least a level out of this adventure, which would pull us up to like 8, 9 or so. So we'll be in pretty good shape, I think. There is one thing in this particular region of the realm which is high level, but that's like level 18, 20, which is like way beyond where we are right now. So others tell of worse powers in the great southern swamp. Worst of all, though, are the stories of demon worship among some of the villagers. The 2 other standing priests cross themselves as Brother Murloc makes mention of the practice. It's true. Many of the peasants are becoming terrified as the brigand raids and superstitious stories spread. Several have already left their lairs and property to seek safety in the city of Vendare. If you spend time in the south, be careful not to be led astray by the superstitious tales the folk tell. These are the usual rumors that spread when there is trouble of this nature. The man on horseback nods. We saw nothing of evidence behind these rumors. They are the words that men speak when they cannot fathom the evil their brother commits. Who knows what evil in the hearts of men lurk? The shadow knows. They cannot fathom the evil their brother commits. It is a sad truth, but those who do battle with evil must know it. May truth keep you and the light of the Father guide you. The 4 men continue northward, leaving you alone on the trail. Okay. Men emerge from the wood looking edgy and somewhat startled as they stand before you. Beware the lands to the south, one says cautiously. If you've been that way, then you were in luck to have returned. We're soldiers in the service of the Count, the last of a troop of 30 strong. There are forces there that you cannot imagine. Ride north and leave if you're wise. Only death lies for you to the south. The men make as if to continue on their way northward. Do you press them for information? Yes. The men look nervous, but you outnumber them, and they clearly do not want struggle. Very well, travelers. We were indeed of the contingent sent south to Wakeham. We stopped to give directions to a little old man, and we were suddenly attacked by brigands from along the roadside. There was panic among the men, and they fled all around us. I don't know why, but everyone was filled with fear, and we could not manage a suitable defense. We 4 managed to escape. The man stares at you defiantly, despite his words, telling you that you have garnered every drop of truth from him. The 3 who travel with him appear ashamed as he mentions the fear and panic of the battle. We go north to Vendere. If you're wise, you'll do likewise, and then continue riding beyond that city. Yeah, well, we're not wise. We're heroes. You know the way that goes. You encounter a band of 5 men struggling along the road. They look tired and hungry. Men take your food and thank you heartily. They continue to mutter as they devour it, and one admits they haven't eaten in a day and a half. A few minutes go by, and the tallest fellow, who bears an eye patch and a noticeable scar on his cheek, begins to tell of the trials that brought them to you. The crops are ruined all around Wakeham. Friends are stolen away in the night by the brigands, and they don't stop there. They kill and they vandalize what's left. And worse are the terrible things that come with them in the night, emerging from the wood and the swamp. Some look human, but others don't. And while I never saw anything that didn't move along the ground, Jed here's sure that he saw some things flying around overhead. Some things like bots being banned into the Stone Age. The men shake their heads sadly and agree that they won't be heading back to the land of their childhood again in this lifetime. One mentions the far-off domain of Runa and the powerful duke that governs there. After a few more minutes, the 5 wander northward, leaving you to finish your meal and get back to the road. All right, so pretty much everybody is not a fan of this situation. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically a bot. The road ahead is full of chaos as 5 men lock in battle with a wild boar. The beast bucks and bites, snorting wildly as it ducks their spears. The men shout, knocking arrows and thrusting again and again as they try to avoid the boar's tusks and teeth. One looks over his shoulder and waves for you to assist, shouting for your help. You rush forward and the men shout their thanks as you join the fray. Thanks for the battle, wild boar. Wild boar, wild boar. Never lose it. One of the farmers nods his thanks to you. That's a farmer. As his friends lug the beast into the wood for gutting. That thing's been killing our stock for days. We can't thank you enough, travelers. After a moment taking in your gear, he adds, You're looking into the trouble in Wakeham, aren't you? I take extra care down there, friend. Yeah, exactly, dinner. Whatever's down there just is not natural. We've seen worse things moving around in the forest these past few weeks than we have for years. Lizards, snakes, giants, ogres, more than you'd believe. The men gut the beast for meat and hides while you walk on. You spot a score of worker ants on the trail ahead of you. They carry bits of food, large sticks, and other debris of little interest. One of the ants, you notice, has a bit of cloth clearly displaying the sigil of Eeyore. Okay, well, let's approach. Ants willingly engage you in battle as you close with their ranks. Oh. Oh, these are big ants. Oh. Okay, Seems like overkill, but... Yeah, it worked. Stop missing. Thank you. There we go. How long until the other giant ant flees in panic? See you, ants. The cloth does indeed bear the mark of Aor. Looking about, however, you do not see the remains of the man who bore it or anything else of human make. Looking into the forest, you see more ants vanishing into the shadows, scattered by your attack. Okay, so there's some serious stuff going down here. As always, no one wants you to search in this game. Lizard men explode from the forest around you. Your friends ready to defend themselves, shouting oaths of surprise to see the creatures so far outside of the swamps. Lizard men! Okay. Okay. Dead. There we go. Oh, shoot, I forgot about that one. There we go. Okay. Okay. Yep. That's what you get. What? I just because I'm curious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21 spears. Okay, it's like 40 spears. No, I do not want to go back and claim it. Lizardmen do not carry any personal wealth, though their javelins are of fair condition. As you pick your way through the battle site, Echo Alpha X5 again remarks how bizarre it is to see lizardmen this far from the swamps. And the tactics that they use to ambush you, attacking from all angles at once, shows of a cunning not common among the lizardmen of this region. Yeah, I'd say that's odd. That's what you get when you let your heart win. Day 2. The second map. Ahead stands a cozy looking inn along the roadside. Sign swings over the door showing a robin, breast puffed out in pride, strutting before a pair of tipping mugs. As you step inside this roadside inn, Richard Dreyfuss says hello. You immediately notice that there are only about 15 customers in a tavern room that supposedly is usually packed with travelers. The portly, middle-aged innkeeper is standing behind the bar. As you enter, he perks up a bit and calls out, "Greetings to you, good travelers. What might be your pleasure?" As you complete your survey of the room, you can see that there's only... Right? You know what I'm saying? You can see there's only one fellow of note, a long, lanky man clad in leather jerkin and green sitting alone in a corner. "What his name rightly is I've never heard, but round here he goes by the name of Strider." He's softly plucking on a stringed instrument. Oh, maybe not then. William Brightboy smiles and offers you a meal and a room for rent for a total of 1 gold coin each. Do you accept his offer? No, not yet. Dour-faced men sit at this table in the corner, drinking the alcohol and glowering about them. Okay. The man with the stringed instrument approaches you and bows deeply. "Greetings, my lords and ladies. I am Pluck, minstrel of the lands. Shall I pay for your pleasure? For a mere few silvers, I shall perform a ballad of the utmost fervor and tenor." "All right, Pluck." Men grumble as you reach into your pouch for the payment. Pluck takes the coin, bites and then nods in thanks. "For you, I shall play the ballad of Saktha." Men grumble immediately, and you hear them shout out, "Let evil lie sleeping, you fool! And why invite more trouble? Stick with your silly songs and leave us in peace." Nevertheless, Pluck begins to strum his instrument, and his words flow across the tavern room eloquently and melodically. His voice is almost mystical. I'm going to wait till this music passes. "Toss a penny for your witcher." What's up, MST? Okay, well, here we go. So if we're going to do this, it's got to be the bard from The Hobbit with the super high vibrato. "Sakatha once was the great lizard king, said to have power stored in a ring. O'er swamplands and plains lands his minions they spread. His very name filled all creatures with dread. To build his great tomb in the midst of the marsh, many men died in slavery most harsh. His minions took all of our best for his altar. Not for a day did his bloody thirst falter. Also hide MST3K and also Shatter Mage. Then there arose the great Count of Eeyore, greatest of heroes in those days of yore. He slew Sakatha in the battle of Wakeholm. The lizard men carried the slaughtered chief home. And now he awaits in the cold sleep of death, his day of awakening, his first newborn breath. Though deep in the ground his followers closed him, come back for vengeance on those who opposed him." "Well, that about does it for me tonight," mutters one man after a long dead silence. Standing, he drops a coin on the bar for William Brightboy and then stalks from the inn. Others follow, muttering about business to tend to at home. "Come now, good..." Oh, he's not still singing. "Come now, good people. This is not but a ballad used to frighten naughty children a night. Have you all been naughty children?" The men do not respond, and Brightboy's eyes widen as his tavern room empties before him. "You've ruined me for the night. You've ruined me. Those men would have stayed and drunk for hours. Look what you've done. Oh, I'm sunk." "Do you tip Brightboy several gold coins to cover the losses he certainly will experience this night?" "No." "Okay, yeah, sure." Brightboy stops his whining, but at the same time he continues to glare at Pluck, who now sits in the corner sipping at his mug. Here you go. "Odo of the 9 fingers and the ring of doom." Yeah, I mean, solid bard work. Arcanus bot is almost ready to level. There we go. They did a pretty effective job of making this sort of like building up this year. You spot a large, ugly face. The ogres leap from the cover of scrub brush along the road, wielding large spears as they rush your band. But setting up for whatever's going down here in Wacombe, which is obviously not just brigands. Ooh, cool-looking ogre. Never in the right spot. Man. There you go. Let's cast one of those. There you go. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. All right, what do we get? What do we get? Money. What about items? Okay, those are all flails. I don't care about that. Voracious wolves attack as a pack, their eyes filled with maddened bloodlust. Interesting. So, like, yeah, all of these things are not supposed to be working this way, apparently. And they're just all doing this stuff. Dead. 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 I saved my magic here. Nice. Hillness doing work. Okay. Nice. See ya. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, so something obviously has happened to get these guys all riled up. And by the way, for those who came in recently, MST and Shatter, we have moved on in the realm. We've beaten Bathon's Beacon, and we are now doing Tomb of the Lizard King, which will probably be the last adventure we can do in this area of the realm, at which point we head off to the higher level areas, because we're between level 7 and 9 right now, and we're closing in on, like, by the time we're done with this adventure, I'd expect that we'd be more like 8, 9, or 9, 10, so be time to move on to the the next sort of set of higher level adventures. You've come to a place where the road runs right alongside the River Ardo. In the distance, about 300 yards ahead, you can see the bridge where the river curves and crosses under the road. The banks of the road on the riverside are covered with a rich growth of water weeds. One of your friends shouts a warning as lizardmen rush from the weeds. Armed with metal-studded clubs and shields, they attack. Isn't it amazing, MSD? Oh, geez, that's not great. Okay. Let's get to... Ah, come on, man. However I position myself, they always get to affect life. Oh, there's so many. One of the things I like about the realm is it's allowed us to basically explore everywhere around here. And like, so we've been able to basically build up our characters while exploring the realm, basically. So I think that's right. The question is, of course, it's about quality, right? Not quantity. So that's the other thing, is making sure that, like, for example, Temple of Elemental Evil, I eventually had to just bail out of because it was just, like, we did some of it, but it was like, this is just not, it's not fun enough, you know, to watch and viewing and everything else. But then we had other ones that we thought were pretty cool, so... Oh, please stop missing. Lot of whiffs. There we go. Mm-hmm. No thanks. Aside from their weapons, none of the lizard men carried any personal items or wealth. They died without a word, with no indication of their purpose but to kill you. Well, that's charming. Okay. Nice. That was a very good Cure Wounds. All right, let's cast Cure Light on Arcanus Bot. It's pretty good. And then one on Echo. Good. Some good heals. About 100 yards ahead on the right side of the road, you see a large oak tree split long ago by lightning. A human figure, apparently asleep, is reclining against the trunk of this tree. As you approach, he stirs from his sleep. From a closer distance, he appears haggard, thin, tired, and hungry. He's clearly wearing the colors of Eor, though his sword and shield are damaged. "Speak your names, travelers. Be you more brigands?" "No. Are ye angels? We are but men. Rock." Though his brow is furrowed, you detect a hint of fear in his voice as he tries to determine whether you are a friend or foe to the count he serves. "Whom do you serve?" "I don't have to tell you. Shut up, Dad." You soothe the man's fears, and he seems ready to collapse with relief. "Glory be. I am Baltron. Oh, I heard about you. My men were attacked by brigands. The entire troop is either scattered, captured, or slain. I've wandered for days searching for the road that leads home to Eor." You press Troom for details of the attack, and he sighs heavily, leaning against the tree where he slept as he speaks. "We were met on the road by an old man who wanted directions. Same thing every time. It's always the old man. The next thing I knew, my men were fleeing in panic, and I was caught up in a battle with brigands. They just poured out of the fields. They took me prisoner with 4 others. I managed to break free and evade them in the forest. The others, well, I pray that you'll find them in your journeys." Troom looks at you with dawning hope as he seems to realize the true chance of victory that you offer. "I must return to Vendare and inform the Count of what I have seen, but you could act on the knowledge that I gained. You could strike before they would ever imagine that we are knowledgeable of their lair. The brigand's base is hidden in or below a small copse near a large field behind the inn at Wakeham. I counted 40 of them in all, and one that seemed to be some sort of cleric." Copse near a large field. "Look for them there at night, and you'll be able to take them by surprise. I did not see this base myself, for I escaped them before we reached the village, but they spoke of it clearly. It is our hope." Baltron appears inspired and invigorated as he stands before you. With a salute that belies the true fatigue that plagues his muscles, he pushes on down the road that you traveled. You offer Troom warnings of the hazards that you faced so far on the road. He thanks you and then stumbles off for Vendare. You stand alone on the road. Wakeham. To Wakeham. The village of Wakeham lies in a shallow depression on the north side of the main highway. To the south, the ground slopes sharply down to the edges of the great southern swamp. Wakeham has always been known as a prosperous peasant village, but its appearance now tells you immediately that this is no longer the case. Hey, Nonstop! What is going on? You can see that you're closing in on leveling here, Nonstop. We're playing where we beat Baltron's Beacon, and we're now on to Tomb of the Lizard King, which is probably the last one at this level before we have to move on to other sections of the realm that are higher level. So, from the upper edge of the slope, you see some 28 peasants' huts scattered in the clusters on both sides of the road. All but 5 of these have been burned down. The fields, which should be filled with crops and farmers tending those crops, contain nothing but blackened stubble. The only building of note is a large wooden structure facing the main highway. Behind it is a large field, and near the field stands a good-sized copse. There are no signs of human inhabitation to be seen. Rubble crunches underfoot as you pick your way through the broken planks and burned remains of a peasant's ruined home. You step into what was apparently an old shop. The scorched and dented remains of iron pots lie among the shards of glass and crockery. Broken shards of crockery crunch underfoot as you pick your way through this gutted shop. Clearly nothing of value survived the attack on this place. One of the unburned huts, you see that this place was looted clean. There's no sign of human habitation for many days. You turn to regard what was presumably the bedroom of the home. The wooden planks cluttering the floor among tangled springs were likely the bed. No whole furniture remains, and it appears that much was taken. All right, just getting to one spot that I need to. Rubble crunches underfoot as you pick your way through the broken planks and bird remains of a peasant's ruined home. Three burned huts lean, broken in the clearing before you. The stench of wood smoke is thick in the air. Yeah, I see it shadowed. I'm just trying to get to this large building so I can remember what I'm doing next time. Okay, another ruined home. Okay, another peasant's ruined home. Yet another peasant's ruined home. Also, can I save the map? Okay. So you approach this tiny hut by the edge of the great southern swamp. You hear a sing-song chanting coming from inside. You also see smoke rising from a hole in the roof of the hut, a sure sign that there is a fire inside. Whoa! They all thinks I'm crazy, so crazy I'll am, but I'll still be here when they ain't what they am. They'll all be taken to Sakatha's lair, but I'll be free as a bird in the air. The disheveled man squatting in this shack looks up quickly at your entrance. He wears tattered green rags, his wildly flying white hair and his general appearance is offensive. Ah, visitors to my stately realm, welcome to the Chateau de Demanisville. I'm your host, Stephen Demanis. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Stephen makes an awkward bow and then stays crouched, studying a pair of spiders scuttling across his floor. Okay, who are you? Me? I'm Stephen Demanis. Again, the pleasure's entirely all mine. Okay. Sakatha's my friend, the great lizard king, and he's not dead. He's coming back for what's his. He lives in the swamp. If you'd like, I'll take you. It's right through my back door. Sure. Hey, what's up, Imaginary? Yeah, we got started a little late. I'm actually stopping, though, in a few minutes. I'm just trying to get to a spot where I'll remember where I'm going. Southern Swamp. Great Southern Swamp stretches out before you, an expanse of still black water and hidden dangers that few humans have dared or desired to dread. The trail you follow leads from small island to small island with pools of murky water filling the spaces between. As you regard the untracked wilderness, a sudden prick sends your hand to the back of your neck. Looking at the palm of your hand, you see a large mosquito crushed into your flesh. Okay, I'm not going back into the swamp yet. Mostly because the brigands are not here. They're behind the big inn that I can see. Turn to Stephen Demanis' shack. The fire is burned to ashes in the hearth. How are you, Imaginary? Okay. Rubble, okay, that's another ruined hut. Okay, yet another ruined hut. Need Bruce Springsteen here. This is your hometown. It's your hometown. It's your hometown. Okay. So Okay. So, very nice, very nice. Yes, I hope you're hanging in there okay. Yeah, we beat Baltron's Beacon, so that's cool. And now we're in the midst of Tomb of the Lizard King, which is where we're going to be heading after we figure out what's going on with these brigands. Ahead you see that the ruins of Wacombe stretch to the burned docks. The merchants from distant islands and the cities of the far south have learned to shun this once prosperous port. There's nothing for you at the shore. You turn back. Oh, okay. Okay. It's another hut. Trail winds northward to the clearing and copse behind the inn. Ah ha ha. Okay. Save. A. No. Exit. Okay, we're going to... Be surprised to learn there are hidden secrets in this town, but we should search selectively by looking into specific locations or we'll be here far too long. The north is the entrance to the large wooden structure you saw from the hillside overlooking Wascombe. As you enter the inn, you notice at once that the tavern room has been stripped of furniture. Only a few mugs are on the shelves behind the main bar, and only a few bottles of wine are left there. As you're looking around, the innkeeper enters in the kitchen area carrying a large sack and several pieces of cloth. He spots you, looks alarmed, and shouts, "What's this? What's this? Da-da-da-da-da-dun. What's this? What's this?" No, he doesn't do that. "Who are you? What do you want?" You convince the man that you're not more brigands come from what's left of his inn. He breathes a heavy sigh, though he looks at you suspiciously when you offer a reason for coming here. "Well, listen, I'm just finishing packing. These bottles of wine are all that's left, and then I'm all for Vendare and probably Hamlet beyond that. Not sure that you want to go to Hamlet, my dude. It's got its own problems. If you'd like, help yourself to the wine. I'm wrapping these mugs before I go." "Yes, the first raids are about 3 months ago now. I have no idea what kept me here so long. Supposed I thought the great Count John Brunus would come to the rescue. Suppose I thought wrong, of course. But now I'm on my way out. Even a fool has to see that the ship is sunk around him. Me and my flotsam are on the way to our greener pastures. Every week the raids come more often, and now they burn most everything. I figure I'll make for it now. No matter either way, they're everywhere. They usually come in town at night, though. They take prisoners, men, women, and children, filthy cur. Good wine, eh? Drink up. You can stay as long as you want here, but you can never leave. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Welcome to the Hotel Wacombe. Such a lovely place. The place is yours till the Count takes back ownership, but that's the last of the wine. Take care, though, if you've got dreams of doing the Count's work for him. There have been other strange things going on. I've seen a large thing, strangely shaped, flying over the village at night, and there's been some talk about the lizard men coming back to their old lairs in the great southern swamp. Well, I'm the last sane inhabitant of Wacombe, and I'm not much more for the southeast. Rest well, heroes. I'm leaving you with that mad old coot living across the way. Best of luck to you." With a nod, the innkeeper turns and walks out the back exit with his wrapped mugs in hand. A few minutes later, you hear his cart trundling off to the north and west. Okay. Okay. Look about the benighted grove that Bartow Troon warned was the nighttime lair of the brigands plaguing Wacombe. After a full day in the village, it's certainly time to strike, but where? As you carefully watch, you see two figures making their way across the meadow in the dark of night. They appear to be clad in leather armor, and they're carrying shields and spears. As they reach the center of the meadow, they stop, turning direction, and begin to shout, "Death to the Count of Aor! Death to the weakling, stupid city rats he sets against us!" The men retreat into the forest, laughing loudly. You see a large, dark, winged reptilian shape fly across the full moon and then begin to dive towards you. Whoa! Suddenly a black dragon. Okay. Better not mess around here. What? Oh. All right, so they had a black dragon working for them. Or working with them, I guess. Yeah, I know. No problem, though. See? Never a doubt. No problem. The dragon lies dead. The men are long gone, and their scant tracks are obliterated by the melee. You are left considering. They know of you, your mission, and apparently even what scant information you know of them. What if I screwed that up? I think I'm going to try... I'm just going to try one thing here. Is it... It's J, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yep. Okay. Yeah, we enter the teleporter. Safe, you move into the spot where the men slipped into the forest, but there's no sign of a trail. You stare into the wood considering. They know of you, your mission, and what you know of them. Oh, okay, so there's nothing I could do about that. Huh. Interesting. So it wouldn't have mattered. All right, well, let me just clear out the map here quickly. I mean, if that's true, then probably what I need to do... Single unburned house. Old shanty's not been lived in for years. There's no lock on the door, and only a single bare table stands against the wall. So what that tells me is that probably we need to go to the Lizard King's, or, you know, need to go into the swamp to find the lizard. Door to the store lies in rubble beneath the singed ends of rope and the broken remnants of lantern that seemed to have spread the oil across the walls and floor as the brigands struck. Soot blocks your view through both windows in the south and east corners. You wipe at the soot and manage to clear a hazy patch of glass that looks out on the field beside the ruined storefront. Okay, another peasant's ruined home. Store was looted clean before it was burned down. Nothing of value or use survived the destruction. Leave through the door, pushing it open against the soot-caked hinges and bringing down a rain of soot. All right. Well, so the only place to go... The only place to go, unless I go back to that thing with the bandits, is the lizard place, is the swamp. So... Okay. All right, so, whoops, cancel. Save map, okay. Great. All right, so we're going to go to the crazy old guy. One. Okay, and that is also... Got it. Okay. All right. So that means the next time that we start, we will be heading into the swamp to find the Lizard King, because it's pretty obvious that whatever is going on here is related to this tomb of the Lizard King or whatever else. I was hoping the Black Dragon would be sort of like the leader that I could get some information from, but 'twas not to be, I'm afraid. Nice. All right, good stuff though. We got through Bathen's Beacon. What are you doing in my swamp? Yeah, it was cool. I actually enjoyed that. I am interested to see what happens with this. I mean, it might be combat heavy, but I think there's an interesting kind of mystery associated with this. And I never played Tomb of the Lizard King, you know, in module form. So I am very interested to see what happens. Once that's done, then we'll be able to head elsewhere in the realm to even higher level stuff. So that will be cool. But for right now, the time has come for us to head off. And I hope you folks enjoyed what you saw and heard tonight. And if so, I hope you will follow the channel. I hope you will check out our YouTube, which I just realized I had accidentally buried beneath something else. So I apologize if anyone tried to... We did have some people that were viewing here earlier, so sorry about that. But if you did like what you saw and heard, what is that? Oh, I see. Remove. My bad. So if you like what you saw and heard, please follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube at !ArvTube. Discord is !ArvCord. You can hang out with your Arvanauts in between streams. Twitter, !ArvTweets. Blue Sky, !ArvSky. Website, arvaneleron.com. Financially, !ArvShop. That's the merchandise area where you can get some cool stuff for yourself and cool stuff for the channel. !ArvTreon. That is the Patreon sitting right there. We're at 14 members, 102. We're north of 100 again, which is great. We're trying to continue to move that onward and upward. I'd love to be able to do a talisman tournament. I'd love to be able to do another Arvanaut Idol contest, but we have to get that number higher if that is going to be something we do. So I hope we will consider that. Well, thank you, Tim, for being here. So yes, that, and then of course subbing to the channel, as several of you did today, is also really helpful. You get those custom sub badges to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. And of course, you get inspirations to help our players. I have reset inspirations for the month of October. And so Patreon support and subbing helps with all those kinds of things. So please do that. I should have mentioned before, by the way, on my website, new episode of Hearthglow coming out soon. Definitely a podcast you want to be checking out. And also Gen GMs, the show that I do with Zach Clay about DM and GM tips. You can check those things out on the various YouTube places as well. Exclamation Point Icarus, that's my graphic novel from Athos Arts. Exclamation Point Library is my Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And Exclamation Point Greyshade, that is my Greyshade IP. Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic, the first 3 books of the Grey Assassin trilogy, all available from Athos at that link. You can also get the audiobook of Greyshade by our very own Trent Sparks. You can also pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade, which is now heading towards its final stages. That'll be out late this year, early next year from Alligator Alley Entertainment and our very own Brandon O'Brien. Very excited that we're going to have a promo going for Greyshade soon as well. I'm excited about that too, so definitely check that out. And as always, Exclamation Point BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation Point Help Now, that's the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And Exclamation Point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message we'll do so for others in this situation in the future. Thank you today to my wonderful mods. Thank you to Drew the Damager and to Shadowed Mage and to Shatter Mage, the best in the business. Thank you all for being here. And thank you to my wonderful Patreon supporters and subscribers. Thanks to Drew, Shadowed, Shatter, Nonstop, Crit Twitch, Imaginary Exponent, and Tim Coolish. Thank you, thank you. And thank you to my wonderful viewers. Thank you to B Trader. Thank you to Crass Murder. Geez, that's disturbing. Thank you to Jagtress. Thank you to Light and Passion, Mr. Jonas, Mrs. Dunsel, and Sluggish Lobe. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Good time tonight. I really enjoyed myself. Remember that Saturday is currently a very uncertain, tentative stream. I may not be able to stream at all. I'm going to be... Oh, okay. Well, then no wonder. That's why the name sucked so much. So screw you, bot. Yeah, I forgot about that. So again, I'm going to be away with the family this weekend, so I may be able to stream over the weekend, possibly on Saturday, but it's very much up in the air. I don't know. But I will definitely, if I can't stream on Saturday, I will definitely be back on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, I will announce the web schedule. I have scheduled everything for the month of October. We have coming soon announcements about the recommencing of the Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks campaign. We will also soon have an announcement about the launching of the Star Wars campaign with the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation scientists. We've almost got that put together. Both of those should be back underway in November, so that's very exciting. And that will lead us with Community D&D and Star Wars that I'm not directly involved with, but I am honored to be able to host them on my channel. And then also we will have Beowulf on this channel, Expedition for the Mysterious Peaks on this channel, Eberron on this channel, and then we will have By the Dice Roll D&D with Ghosts of Saltmarsh over on GOG's channel as well. So we're going to be back to a good amount of that kind of awesome campaign play as well. So it'll be a good time. But that's going to do it from me. If I don't see you on Saturday, then everyone have a lovely weekend, in which case I will see you next Tuesday. But if I do see you, then I'll see you. But otherwise, follow, spread the word, and I will see you folks here very soon for what is going to be a really fun rest of October. So that's it for me. Thanks, everyone. Much love. Be good to each other, and bye for now.